Good afternoon and good evening, and welcome to Action Theater Presents. Today's an old oldie but goodie from 1990s, starring the late great James Earl Jones. It is was an HBO original film in 1990 by Don's Early Light. Deleted scenes. Can you elaborate more on the synopsis and tell us a little about this film?
All right. A non-NATO nuclear missile is fired from Turkey at USSR, where it detonates. Soviet response is automatic as it's seen as a NATO missile. Can continued escalation be avoided? We follow the US president and a bomber crew. That is the synopsis according to IMDb. This is a film that was directed by Jack Shoulder, who also directed The Hidden, and if I remember correctly, also Nightmare on Elm Street 2. This was based on the novel Trinity's Child by William Procknow, and as Bill said, did originally run on HBO in 1990, and very shortly thereafter, due to its popularity, was released on video. This is a DVD copy from back in the day, and I might still have the VHS somewhere. I don't know, but that's how far back this movie goes. There was still VHS, folks. So I had a couple of different copies of this. All-star cast. Along with James Earl Jones, you also have Powers Booth, Rebecca De Mornay, Martin Landau, Peter McNichol, Darren McGavin, Rip Torn. This is one of those movies where everybody is somebody. And it's kind of an interesting film in that it's about the different reactions that certain characters have to the situation and how that could be a detriment in some ways. Yeah, so you get this, like the film says, you have the president who has survived the attack, the wounded, and he is trying to get through to the Russians and negotiate some kind of truce. You have the vice president, who's a bit of a war hawk, who believes the president is dead, so there's that whole drama. And then you have the air situation. You have Powers Booth and Rebecca De Mornay as bomber pilots, their crew. And then you have James Earl Jones' character, who is this... we never actually find out his real name. He's codenamed Alice. And what his character also has to deal with, trying to communicate back and forth between various characters. It's an interesting film. And I know a lot of people are going to think of Dr. Strangelove a few times, throughout this movie. And while that was satirical, this is very much what could, especially at that time, have really happened, because this was still sort of Cold War era. The Cold War is sort of winding down. So, when I was in school, and Bill, I'm sure you can attest to this, since we're kind of roughly the same age, we still went through that whole thing of, doing those drills, like the duck and cover, and whatnot. Like that would have helped, They'll show up 200 years later. What happened to this guy? Well, he died cowering under his school desk. It's very sad. I know I make light of it now, but we still very much had those kind of drills. Um, so this is a movie. It was very much of its time, but I think yet still has some merit. Um, so if this is your first time seeing this movie, you're in for a good one. Um, so check it out. It runs about 100 minutes, give or take a few minutes. Um, it I think it has like a PG-13 rating now, but it's kind of borderline that and an R. Not that that matters. We're all adults here, but
Yeah.
just to let anybody
Yeah.
know. You can, of course, follow along with us on, if you do not have your own copy, you can also, of course, follow along with us live on Cosme. And I do believe this movie is for free now on YouTube. It's just that we are not allowed to air it because it'll be a copyright infringement thing. So, as much as we would love to air this movie live, as much as we would love to air all of the movies live, YouTube isn't going to let us show this one because it's not public domain yet. So, yeah, my dawn's early light.
All right. So if you guys want to view this fine film, follow us over to the screening room, and I'll get it going. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, go.
HBO Pictures logo. There are 55,000 nuclear weapons in the world today. Through times of crisis and times of hope, their awesome power has been held in check by the most complex safety system ever devised. And that went by a little bit too fast. And also, I think there's different. I think that card is different depending on which version of the film you have, as well.
Powers Booth.
Oh yeah.
You might recognize that guy. He was in Tombstone. By dawn's early light.
And this is another reason why we probably couldn't air it live. If not necessarily the movie, the Georgia satellites are probably going to see.
Yeah.
Works every time.
Powers Booth. His character from Tombstone was what? Crazy Bill or
Curly Bill?
Curly Bill. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I, technically, right.
Well, they're both in the
Yeah,
military. They're both in the
this
Air
is
Force.
this is a kind of a big no. No.
Hello, Snortopoopas Cuber. How?
Hey, how you doing? And of course, Alistair's Queen Emma has also joined us.
Mm-hmm.
We're just a few minutes into the movie, folks. So
Yeah.
jump on in on Cosme.
We're exactly 4 minutes, 36 seconds.
And here, of course, is the unauthorized missile launch.
It was this happened before the
Yeah.
Cold War came to an end. So this was, in this time
Mhm.
frame, it was, no holds barred. We were on our edge of the seats, like, where's World War III gonna break out? Popular game, Afterburner.
You recognize her from La Bamba.
From what?
La Bamba.
Oh, I like how they have their DEFCON
Yeah.
differently from war games. You know, although cock pistol sounds a lot better than like DEFCON 3.
Yeah.
When he refers to codes, the launch codes for all the missiles,
Mhm.
better known as the football. Here you have James
Mhm.
Earl Jones' character.
So there's your choice.
This entire film's budget was less than the Alkalite, and it is slightly longer or close, and is so much better. Just food for thought. Right, Tim?
Mhm. We will give everyone a moment to take a huge dump. There's and there goes Washington.
Is he supposedly under a bunker under the White House, or is he on Air Force One?
No, he's in the bunker.
I think there's a lot more in Washington today.
Hmm.
Probably more like in the million range. Thank you, Tim, for the
Really?
entertaining, clever
Yeah.
pictures.
Whoops. That was your pilot is now half blind.
You're not supposed to look at the blast directly.
Yep. Look out. The tool's gone.
In light, if you were flying in a plane and you were too close to the blast, you do get the EMP effect where everything shuts up down, everything electronic, or you just might become a paperweight falling to the ground. Yeah, there's one casualty. Plus the all who died in the You're in a bunker miles down below the White House. Where can you go?
Well, anywhere but here.
Um, if there was an actual nuclear warhead, there would be radiation, and I don't think you'd be able to breathe the air. And your skin might melt off.
Mhm. Well, they're not going to have time for that this time, Tim.
Sounds like country music to me. He's lost his mind.
Pretty much, yeah.
Talking about the chain of command.
Today is.
Is this supposedly the VP who they've now made president?
Secretary of the Interior,
Uh,
because the vice president is at this point missing and presumed dead. And if the Secret Service agent guarding the Secretary of the Interior there looks familiar, that is G. Gordon Liddy, who of course was involved in the Watergate scandal. Mhm. It's like, congratulations, you're not robots, you know? And I'm going to have to check the credits about this kid because I think he did like a lot of TV at the time.
A future star of Everybody Hates Chris. Yeah.
Oh, was he?
No.
No. I was just about to say, I don't think so. Run for it. Okay.
You dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Hey, if you can dodge a nuclear missile, you can dodge a ball. Pretty much, yeah. Because Denzel and Hackman aren't finished committing mutiny yet.
Yeah. You're turning off a war that's already started. Sorry. Annihilate
Well,
the enemy at all costs. I'm sorry. I can live with that decision. Yeah. Good. Wipe them out before they can even fart.
Yes, he just said that.
Great kid, don't get cocky. Use the force, Luke. Oh, poke me with a stick.
Poke him with a stick.
Well, I didn't vote for that president.
Mhm.
I like to show bomb away, but they didn't show any bomb they released.
Well, there you go. That's in my briefcase that I'm handcuffed to. Oh, didn't forget about that at all. It's okay.
I believe it. Um, Earl Jones' character, the general, is in an AWAC, basically they gather information
Yeah,
from the sky.
he's in the Looking Glass plane. Yeah.
It's a war. It's a war room. It's a war room in the.
In short, kill everybody.
We could have a mutiny in the air. Arrest your co-pilot and detain her. She has lost cognitive accessibility. Ooh, he wants her to bite down on a
Yeah.
pill.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
releasing your
Shit
command.
just got real.
Just a few seconds of choking on your own air and just horrible for until your heart stops. And you follow orders and kill them all. Let God sort them out. That's what I say. That's just me. I'm a military man. I'm gonna.
Yeah, but
follow.
the thing that you got to understand though is they don't know that this was essentially a terrorist attack that started this, and not.
Yeah, but do I believe you? You could be
No,
anybody.
that's the thing. Yeah, is everybody trying to sort through all of this information and what's correct and who do you believe and these and you got this bomber that's basically decided on their own that we're not going to do this. We're going to wait.
So they're not following orders and either. I love how their uh, fleet insignia is something holding on to a tiger. It's like a dude with a trident, and riding a tiger down to earth. I guess the tiger would be the nuke, right?
Hmm.
But that's their fleet insignia or whatever. Have you noticed that?
Hmm.
This guy's ready to kill everybody because his family's dead. Just so you know, we're 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 7 seconds into our feature film.
Mhm.
Condor's the plane that's going to shoot them out of the sky because they're not following orders.
Meanwhile, yes,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
looking right at it.
I looked at it. Yeah,
I must say, the day after is much more horrifying than this film is. The day after is the only film that makes me puke.
uh, the day after. Okay, then don't watch
Yeah.
Threads. I made that mistake. I was too young for that fucking movie.
It's like I tried to watch the day after. I have it like on DVD, and it's like the makeup that they
Yeah,
do looks so realistic, and it got me sick. Steve, what was Steve Gutenberg?
Steve Gutenberg. Yeah,
Mahoney Gutenberg.
yeah.
Is his name Gutenberg? And Jason Robards, man,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
pretty good makeup on there. Oh, great! The country's in the hands of a moron.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Hey, it's kind of like today, right?
Yep. Yuri, baby, listen. God, the smartest guy I got down here is Peter McNichol. I'm in deep shit. Over. We got to end this.
Yes.
Also,
Vigo got the baby.
also, I'm blind. Both my legs are broken. I'm going to be totally useless to IMF.
And now these refreshing words from Coca-Cola.
Now, you see, here's the thing. Okay, they turned around, which the Russian president has now taken as they're trying to end the conflict. So he has turned that group of bombers. And now Tyler's going to lose his shit. For good this time.
Bye-bye, Tyler. Ooh. Well, two went out the air hatch.
They all went out.
You
Except
know that
Cassidy and
you know
Morale.
that movie where this movie he likes Spider-Man. There's this movie, Mr. Stark, and they and she opens up the airlock and the bad guy goes out. I suggest we do that.
That's right. Which one? That's a start. Because you don't win something like this. That's the damn point.
I don't believe in
Mutual,
no win scenario.
mutually assured destruction. Look into it.
I'm Admiral James T. Kirk, and I don't believe in a no-win scenario.
Yep.
There's always going to be a winner, damn it. Might as well be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got sucked out the air.
Yeah.
No, a reality could be a court martial or death. Yeah, of course. We started defying orders.
Hey, how did you know that? Down. Sorry, Connie, I stole your line.
I wouldn't want to be a Putin. Nah, he's no good. I want to call Putin a friend.
Oh, thank God.
Sal Bandini, want to wrestle? God, he believed him, right?
Oh, poopy. Glenmore shower because, of course. Yeah, I'll meet her
I have
on the train. Oh, sorry. Not bad. I'm back. I'm okay. Yarp.
but Rip Thorne is really a warmonger, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, Big Al. What's up, Big Al, man? Good to see you.
Well, we are about 84 minutes almost into the film, getting up
Yeah,
to
1 hour.
our third act here.
Yep. We're at 124.08.
Mhm. He said duty. Yeah, you forgot the subs.
You weren't elected.
Miss. You heard the man.
These are girls. Bring on them dancing girls. We come paddling in. F-18s are still flown today. It's probably a different class of F-18s, but they're going to ram the Air Force One to eliminate the false president.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah. Get Haldeman and Mitchell up here. Or you're listening to a machine. Do the world a favor and don't act like one. Here we go.
They turn so
He's
they
turning.
fly right into them. My turn may not have another turn. The moment he just realized we're all about to die. I love it. This is such a great scene. This salute. They know it. They know it's what's about to happen.
Yeah.
What a great scene.
1959 Zulu time to President sent a second coded message to Takamo aircraft 1402 Zulu, though further transmissions from the E-4 to President's instructions were accepted as final. Cease all hostilities, maintain alert status. But what about Polar Bear 1?
It's going to make a water landing. It's going to turn into a boat.
Lands a long way off. So it's left a little bit ambiguous. The early months of 1990, during ethnic unrest in the southern part of the Soviet Union, insurgent units attacked the Soviet Army facility. Western intelligence received reliable reports that nuclear weapons on the premises were, quote, compromised. Well, it's 2014 and we're still here, so those didn't go off.
I mean, 2024.
Yep. All right, folks. So that was By Dawn's Early Light.
You may consult the scrolls.
Yes. Indeed. All right. By Dawn's Early Light, first aired on HBO May 19th, 1990. It went on to win the Emmy for Outstanding Special Visual Effects. And James Earl Jones was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in a miniseries or a special. And Martin Landau was nominated for a Supporting Actor Cable Ace Award that year as well. Right. It was filmed entirely on location in Santa Clarita, California. Moving on to trivia. James Earl Jones' character spends his entire time in the movie aboard a plane. This was also the case in Jones's first film, Dr. Strangelove. Both films were based around a nuclear confrontation between the U.S. and USSR. The role in the nuclear war of the SAC Mobile Command Post or Looking Glass airplane was previously shown in the Cold War drama The Day After. This is the second Cold War-based nuclear thriller to derive its title from the lyrics to the song The Star-Spangled Banner. The first was Twilight's Last Gleaming, starring Burt Lancaster. The emergency war order code sent to launch the Strategic Air Command's long-range bombers depicted by the movie's Alpha Golf Hotel India Delta with the authentication time of 20 hours, 6 minutes, 5 seconds Zulu, and authentication of Sierra Foxtrot. The computer in NORAD is made up from components of an actual IBM AN/FSQ-7 Combat Direction Central built in 1954 to protect the U.S. from Soviet bomber attack. Components of decommissioned systems were sold for scrap and bought by film and television production companies that wanted futuristic-looking computers. Despite the fact that they were built in the 1950s, components used in this film were previously used in the Time Tunnel, the Towering Inferno, and War Games, among many others, and later used in Failsafe. When practicing their bombing run on Irkutsk, they simulate flying over the city at heading 230, and Cassidy quips, "Right down Karl Marx Street." This is rather accurate, as Irkutsk does have a Karl Marx Street, and its heading when going to the southwest is nearly 230. They would slowly be crossing it from left to right. Telemovie's opening prologue stage, Washington, October 19th. The National Security Council met tonight in an emergency session to discuss the spreading rebellion of the Soviet Republic of Tajikistan, administration officials expressed concern that the Soviets would soon be facing a guerrilla war. And that was the prologue that I talked about that's not on every version of the film. Why it's left out of some versions, I don't know. The movie was made and first broadcast about 7 years after its source novel, Trinity's Child by William Procknow, had been first published in 1983. The acronym EWO stands for Emergency War Orders. It can also refer to Electronic Warfare Officer, which is Lieutenant O'Toole's station aboard the B-52G bomber. The acronym SAC stands for Strategic Air Command. SLBM stands for Submarine Launched Ballistic Missiles. ICBM, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. A final film to depict a fictional World War III prior to the end of the Cold War and the collapse of the USSR. The Matt World digital website states, by dawn's early light, produced in the 1980s, was the last of what if the weapons got loose Cold War suspense thrillers released before the fall of the Soviet Union. The differences between this television adaptation and its source novel are summarized by the Wikipedia website, which states that there are two major differences between the story of its source novel and this film telemovie adaptation. It says the first being that the crisis in the novel is started by a deliberate Soviet attack to counter the U.S. military buildup with which they are unable to compete. And the other major difference in the film is the romantic subplot between Morell and Cassidy, which is absent from the book. The characters themselves actually mocking the idea of such a relationship between them. All right, according to Matt World Digital website, for the E-4 Presidential Command airplane, which flies over the state of Utah in the U.S. at night, a modified miniature 747 was photographed on the MWD stages, which created backgrounds using matte painting techniques. Yeah, no real CGI in this. It was mostly models and matte paintings. The call sign of Looking Glass, United States Air Force General in Command, played by James Earl Jones, was Alice. The U.S. Secretary of the Interior, played by Darren McGavin, Condor. The call sign of General Rennie, played by Nicholas Coster of the United States Air Force at SAC headquarters, was Icarus. The call sign of the U.S. Navy Admiral, played by Jeffrey DeMunn, aboard Boeing E-4 command plane, was Harpoon. Somebody got really obsessed with acronyms during this trivia. I'll go through them real quick here. The call sign of the U.S. Hamina and Nix Mix Chimicabafig. Am I clear on that? The call sign of the United States Air Force Looking Glass Colonel, played by Ken Jenkins, was Sam. The names of the two American command aircraft were two Boeing aircraft, one an E-4 National Emergency Airborne Command, an ECAP called Night Watch, and the EC-135C, which was, of course, the Looking Glass. 5 levels of alert status, alert code, and ascending order of urgency were Applejack, Snowman, Cocked Pistol, Roundhouse, and Big Noise. These alert status are training status only. Yeah, but they sound cool.
Yeah.
The following code words were used. The day word was Cottonmouth, command word Trinity, action word Jericho. Acronym TACMO stands for Take Charge and Move Out. Acronym for FEMA stands for Federal Emergency Management Agency. Maybe someone should remind them. Moving on. Call sign of the Boeing B-52 Stratofortress aircraft was Polar Bear 1. The names of the Air Force bases featured in this movie storyline include the Offutt Air Force Base, Andrews Air Force Base, and Fairchild Air Force Base. code name for the battle plan was 21 Zebra. This movie was exhibited at the Houston International Film Festival in Texas on the 24th of April, 1990, providing this television production an American premiere theatrical screening. Which means if they wanted to, they could have gone for Oscars. But they didn't. The film takes place in 1991. So it's slightly futuristic.
Yeah.
At the time. In Trinity's Child, the novel upon which the film is based, the scene where the president is awakened by the call from NORAD has a rerun of the TV series Mission Impossible playing on the TV. Martin Landau, one of the stars of that series, plays the role of the president in this film, though the TV merely shows static instead. The acronym BRP, mentioned by the B-52 crew members, stands for Personnel Reliability Program, which is an extensive psychological profile and evaluation process which all military personnel who have responsibilities involving nuclear weapons are subjected to. The same process, to a lesser degree, applies to all personnel with security clearances. Although not credited in the final film, one of the secret agents guarding Darren McGavin is G. Gordon Liddy, as I brought up earlier. Rebecca De Mornay portrays a B-52 nuclear bomber pilot in this film and a civilian victim of nuclear decimation in Testament. And the guy who played her husband in that movie was Kevin Costner in one of his first movies. Good movie, very sad though. Not an easy movie to get through. All right, here's the last bit of trivia here before we close it out. This movie's closing epilogue states in the early months of 1990. Yeah, we read this. During the ethnic unrest in the southern part of the Soviet Union, insurgent units attacked a Soviet army facility. Western intelligence received reliable reports that nuclear weapons on the premises were compromised. But yeah. Where did those weapons end up? The world may never know. Well, I mean, you know, they have the term broken arrow, right?
Yeah.
Which is, of course, when a
nuclear weapon goes missing.
Goes missing or is, you know, badly damaged in some fashion, in some sort of an accident. You know, and of course, in the movie Broken Arrow, which I think we should do sometime soon down the line, you know, there's the line, you know, what's scarier, the fact that it happens, or it happens so often that we
there's a
actually
term
have
for it,
you know.
Yeah.
You know, so this is one of the reasons why elections are important, folks. I'm not going to turn this into a political PSA or anything. In the end, this was just a movie. It is a movie that was very much of its time, but yet strangely still relevant, you know, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, and hello to Curtis Selby.
Yeah, sorry you missed
us at
man.
the end. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, like I said, you know, you can get physical copies of this movie. I do believe that it
could be on
it
Tubi
is
or Pluto.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah, there are many ways to find it.
Might even be free here on YouTube with ads.
Yeah. All right.
How about next week? How about we do another one that has James Earl Jones? Not much of James Earl Jones, and Harrison Ford in Clear and Present Danger. Put that one.
Right on.
I will be doing the Sports Network with the Thursday night football, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Atlanta Falcons a little bit later.
Right.
There'll be some karaoke on Saturday night and Western cinema. I think we're gonna do since it is Fright October. We'll do the Oregon Trail. It is a Western horror themed Western. So, the Oregon Trail for Western Cinema Presents.
Cool.
What you got coming on?
All right. Well, coming up later on tonight will be my weekend update. That'll be starting at approximately 11:30. May start a little bit later, so stay tuned. My chance to touch base with my loyal channel subscribers and members. Let's see. Before that, however, will be Thursday Things over on Nutters Network. And her guest tonight for that show will be Darkwoods Presents. Kind of an up and coming YouTuber. He's got some very interesting channel content. So if you've not yet subscribed to his channel, tonight would be the perfect time to do so. All right. Let's see. What else? Of course, I'll be joining Bill, as he said, Sunday. We're going to start our month of horror. Oregon Trail. I have not seen this movie, so I'm you're going to get my genuine first time reaction. I'm curious to see how it turns out.
I have multiple films lined up for the month
Yes.
of October for Western cinema. Like I got, of course, the Oregon Trail, Dead in Tombstone with Danny Trejo, and I've got the Burrows.
Good one. Yeah,
the Burrows.
Burrowers. Yeah.
The Burrows. I got that one. I got Ravenous.
Right.
And I'm sure there's maybe one or more that I haven't mentioned, but I don't know. How many Sundays do we get in the month of October? Anyway, we got plenty to go around.
Yeah, indeed. All right. So, okay, let me see. So, of course, right. So, Oregon Trail, that'll be 4:00 Sunday afternoon, 4 Eastern, 3 Central. Later on, 8 p.m. will be my show, Unscripted. And it's going to be an episode entitled Crossfire Hurricane. And FEMA is not going to like it. I'll put it that way.
Remind them of what it stands for, like we just did.
Yeah. And then, of course, Unscripted is the precursor to Geeky Geezers over on Aged Boomer's channel. He and Troy Pacelli will get together to discuss the events of the past week. And unfortunately, some more in memoriams, including Chris Christopherson. And, of course, stick around for a little while. Get yourself a little midnight snack, nice beverage, and rejoin me and some special surprise guests for the other side of midnight. And we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be discussing the importance of physical media. And I am going to be joined by a surprise, like I said, some surprise guests. And among them, maybe a certain outlaw individual. So stay tuned. And let's see. Gets me around to next Tuesday for live from Sparkwood in 21, which is a retrospective of the Twin Peaks television series. I will be joined by Troy Pacelli, Netters Network and Aged Boomer, as we watch and discuss episode 15 of Twin Peaks The Return. And of course, stay after that show, go over to Troy's channel, where for his Blake's 7 rewatch, which I believe they are up to episode. Yeah, they'll be up to episode 4 of Blake's 7. Mm-hmm. So that'll be at about 10:30, and then of course, as Bill said, join us right back here, same bat time, same bat channel for next week's movie, Clear and Present Danger.
Yep.
And of course, thank you, Lady Mist, Emoji Queen, for dropping the links.
Yes, thank you, Lady Mist. With that being said, I'll go ahead and say my quick closing statement. Always remember to be excellent and kind to one another. Always. Party on. I can't wait to see you on the next one. You have a great rest of your day or evening. Catch you later, folks. Deleted scenes.
Yeah. And as I always say, I'd like to thank you all once again for joining us for another great show. From HQ, our second home office in Arizona, and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond. Good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe. Because this is how we win. Take us out, Slim.